And as always, Tim Kearney. This is the clean version. Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends Pregame. Darryl Prue, Tim Kearney, and General Manager and Chief Operating Officer, Stephen Ford of Country Roads Trust. Oh, we got the name, image, and likeness going on tonight, baby. We got a big show coming up.
Destined for greatness. My name is written in stars, and I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed, it's how it was made, this ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer the call, the enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down and I won't give up, and I will act now and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store. From gas to groceries, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar stores, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.
And yes, at Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends Pregame, we do that as well. And what we do is we get after it with the WVU Mountaineers. We're talking hardcore, we're talking basketball action, and we get it here with the Legends. The Legends tonight, I'm happy to say, along with myself, your show host, the WolfMan, Dale Wolfley, is Darryl Prue. DP, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Dale. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm ready to go. Can't you tell, man? And, of course, we got our cantankerous one, the great Tim Kearney. Found some really interesting information about him. K, you see on his video tab, there should be a C. So, again, Tim Kearney, we'll tell you that story sometime. And we have a special guest, of course, Stephen Ford. Stephen, how are you?
Good, Wolf. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Stephen, of course, is the Chief Operating Officer. He's the General Manager of Country Roads Trust, WVU's name, image, and likeness team. All right, Stephen, we got it out there, man. I've been talking about it. You guys have been sponsoring Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends Pregame. We appreciate you. We love you. We know that you're a brother. But let's talk about it. Country Roads Trust. Almost a year now. You just had a year celebration.
Yeah, we just had our year anniversary on the 19th of January. So a year in, lots more to go. We've accomplished a lot in this first year, and we're not going to stop. And long road ahead of us, but we're moving the right direction.
You can see that I'm out here. I'm sporting. I'm like a big old billboard, baby, for you, Country Roads Trust. And here's the thing: what I really wanted to get at and get you out here for before we talk Iowa State hoops, and that is this education, man. I don't think people are really educated fully yet. We can do a better job. Everyone's trying, but it just takes time. It's a process, and honestly, I'm sure you guys have to be learning as this goes on because it's all new.
Yeah, I mean it's. Back up to July 1st of 2021. So this is this is still in its infancy stages for NIL, not just with us, but everybody across the country. Fast forward to January of 2022, we were one of the first, collectives launched in the country. I think we were number 15 or 16 launched. And then you look around now, and every major program has an NIL collective with their beloved university. Some specialize in just football, some specialize in all sports. We're lucky enough here to have support from the university, and we're to help all student athletes, not just basketball, not just football. I think we've done a great job so far to kick things off in this first year. But again, just like you said, this is an educational process for everybody. I always say that. But as time goes on, as this industry grows, as we grow, it's all about visibility and getting out in front of people. Folks can find us, just by going to our website, countryroadstrust.com. All information that they need. And if there's questions that they have for us, they can certainly reach out. info@countryroadstrust.com. But, I encourage everybody to go check out our website.
I don't think it, DP and Timmy, you got a question, you guys just jump right in as you do normally. But my question is this, the education of it all. Why is it so important that you have a collective such as CRT? Now, you're not the only one, right, or Country Roads Trust, because you're not the only one that can give, but you are the only one really as a major collective and a factor for WVU. But why, Stephen, is it so important?
Yeah, so the university and athletics cannot pay the student athletes beyond with their scholarships, aid, all of that. That's where these third-party collectives come in from a fundraising standpoint. Corporate sponsorships, and then crowdfunding. You look around, and a lot of these collectives focuses on one or a few. We focus on everything. The crowdfunding piece, where the everyday fan can come in for $18.67 a month, all the way up to $500 a month. And if you're a business, large or small, we have small business packages, and we work with our, the supporters of the university, the Incovas, the Parmars, WVU Medicine, United Bank, Diversified Energy. They all support our student athletes, and that's the biggest thing where we stand out with at WVU is we're really the only one in the state, and we encourage everybody to help out with the student athletes, whether that's through us or it's not with us. But I guarantee you, if you do come through the trust, we make sure of several things. A, it's compliant. B, the kids are paid on time. And then that they're doing the quid pro quo that's required by the NCAA. I can't just give a kid, money for really just being here. That's a pay for play. There's got to be some kind of action behind it. And that's where the sponsorship piece element comes in. And then, getting the fans involved, through autographs and, member events. So there's a lot of ways for fans to get involved and companies, but I encourage everybody to just reach out.
Yeah, and of course you reach out for charity. You do a lot of charity. You're doing the Special Olympics of West Virginia Polar Plunge, your second year here. You got in just the time we were your first event. You're joining up with Team WolfMan, Parmar Stores, and of course you're supporting the players. The athletes, and I think they're from all different sports, are coming out February 25th and supporting the Special Olympics West Virginia Polar Plunge. And I thank you, brother, for that. But go ahead and talk about your other charities that you guys do and how you work that in.
Yeah, and Wolf, we kicked things off with the Trust last year at the Special Olympics, at the Polar Plunge, Team WolfMan. We're going to do it again this year. And the good thing about what we do here is that we're giving back to the community, right? Again, part of the kids' action, quid pro quo, is us putting them out in the community. Aligning ourselves with, United Way, Boys and Girls Club, Ronald McDonald House, Special Olympics, like we just mentioned. That's how we're, letting these kids give back. And showing that they're good stewards in the community. I think West Virginia, has done a great job of taking care of their own and a very community-based state. We want to continue doing that. I've been in and around athletics for close to 9 or a little over 9 years now. I've never been to a place like this before where everybody's all in. And it's all about community, and that's what we're about as well, is getting these kids out. Some of them getting their hands dirty, some of them go and do some speaking engagement to some elementary school, middle school kids, doing free camps throughout the summer. So there's a lot of different ways where we put these kids out in the community.
Jimmy, DP, you guys got anything?
No, I'm still with my back pay.
Well, exactly. Well, that's why, as they say, you're doing this show. That's why Country Roads Trust is supporting. But you know what? Okay, so here's the deal, Stephen. And the deal is this: people say, I don't like this whole NIL thing. Okay, and the bottom line is, it really doesn't matter if anybody likes it or not. It's here, and for WVU athletics to be successful, we're talking basketball specifically, and Bob Huggins, it's here. You got to take care of the team and the players, and what also specifically to basketball do you have to take care of for these guys? And I'm not talking about the price of the pay, but I'm talking about there's things you got to do to make this team competitive.
Right. And look, I've had a lot of conversations over these last 365 days. And
sure you have.
This past weekend, Neil and Ren, both said to the group, look, it's here whether we like it or not, right? And a lot of people aren't on board, which is fine. But I think over time, a lot of folks will start to realize that it's not going anywhere. And it's the price we have to pay to play the game of college athletics right now. Now, with all that said, we're not just going out to go purchase athletes, right? Look, our main focus is retention. Focus on the kids that we have here, right? If we keep recruiting as we always have, and the kids play up above their potential, it's up to us now to keep them here as long as they're in school, until their eligibility is up, till they go to the draft. And look, we're not just here about providing these kids paychecks. It's all about building them personally and professionally, and providing them with some resources that they otherwise probably don't have at some other schools. But I will. Oh, go ahead, Darryl.
Yeah, I think I had an interview.
I've got a question personally.
Okay, hey, go ahead, Tim.
No, I don't understand this whole NIL and how it works, and why other colleges have more money to give to their students, as far as athletic students, whatever, and how this whole thing works. I mean, I've been on the line. I'm looking at it. Hopefully, Stephen, you can give us some update on how this whole thing works. I'm not sure how it works.
That's what I was going to get to. I had an interview with being an assistant athletic director with the NCAA eligibility. And one of the things that came up was an NIL. And they were saying that, they know that some schools out here are cheating. So what this does is now they get a chance to regulate it. Not saying that the NIL is cheating, but just, now, everything is, it's new for them too. So I think it helps them control all the other stuff that's going on. They make tweaks as we go, out through the years. Just like he says, like 365 days you've been in this, Stephen. And that's brand new. That's like a newborn. You know what I mean? So we're not going to have all the answers right now. And I think what Stephen said about, the resources and stuff like that, there was many times I was hungry. You know what I mean? If, and nobody could buy me what I need to buy or wash my clothes, or if I needed some extra money for this or extra money for that. And I also think it helps these young men and women when they leave school. It gives them a start, now knowing how to manage money, how to navigate jobs, how to be a good person. Go to, I was going to the Special Olympics without the NIL. Now you're learning how to be a good person. And you get there, and then you see, different people and just different things, and it makes you think different, instead of being, he's not being forced, but now you get the chance to be a person, just
Right.
not an athlete, be a person. And I think this helps if it's even across the board. I think, some of the stuff is outrageous with the millions and millions of dollars. Some of these people are making more than the coaches. I think the NCAA is going to change that in some kind of way in the near future. But right now, they're just trying to gauge everything, get all the information, and put, then come back with something else. I'm sure this is not done as far as how the regulations and rules going to be with the NIL.
Yeah, and those are all great points. And Tim, to answer your question, look, it's all up to what we do here. Like we can't focus on what Alabama's doing and other schools are doing and all these outrageous numbers that you're hearing out there. Are they true? Who knows, right? But the way that we can compete in the NIL game is to keep doing what we've been doing, and that's raising money through our three different pillars of revenue, and that's corporate sponsorships, which is my background, through memberships, which anybody and everybody can get involved in at as low as $18.67 a month. That all goes to the athletes. It helps us create those opportunities. And then on the donor side, we know who the big fish are in the state, who support athletics and have for a really long time, and we're already working with them. And look, we're never going to be paying a kid, millions of dollars to come here. Like if a kid wants to come here just to collect a paycheck, probably not the right place for us, or probably not the right place for them. Okay. And like I said, our focus is on retention, keeping the guys here that we have, especially the ones that contribute a whole hell of a lot. So that's our priority, A, B, and C. That's there. And then we don't have to go out into the portal every year and go replace the guys that we've lost because they're going to chase, NIL deals or playing time or whatever decision. And look, we respect these kids' decisions, whatever they want to do. Look, they're adults now, and that's the power of the transfer portal. They can go to wherever they want to go, at least once without penalty. Just to answer your question a little more, we got to focus on West Virginia, our alumni base, the companies that support WVU athletics, and then the donors that support WVU athletics.
Good.
Go ahead.
No, Stephen, do you feel that the NIL should be more regulated?
So I think as time has gone, all right, since we launched, there's been 4 different sets of new guidelines sent out by the NCAA. One that stands out to us, which just came out back in January, is really the presumption of guilt until proven innocent, right? So, and I think that the NCAA is going to be coming down a lot harder. Should they hear or see something that has been out there, then yeah, I think that they're going to investigate a lot harder than they have. And there's been regulations and rules for a while, but has the NCAA acted on it? Not very much, but we've done everything by the book here. We've got a very good relationship with compliance. There's nothing that we do with these kids that we do unless it's greenlit by compliance. We've got a pretty good system where we send it to them. They say, hey, this all checks out. And then we're able to proceed with doing those deals. Everything's over the table. We've got a good team here. I've got a good staff that's on the ground here that helps, make sure that the kids are doing everything that they need to do.
All right. Well, hey, Stephen, thank you. Let's just say this: no matter what the rules are at this point, they're just going to keep changing. We know that. We believe that it's going to happen. We got to win now. And that means that you got to go by what rules you have now and win at these rules. Because you know what? The other teams are doing it. And if you don't, Mountaineers are going to be left behind. If we don't support this Country Roads Trust, Mountaineers are going to be left behind. And that's what I've been saying on the stage for a year now. And I think people are understanding a little bit better. Hopefully, you coming on here and getting out there where all you've been and that we're spreading the message. Because if you don't support, tell me this, Stephen, we're going to fall behind.
Yeah, we will fall behind. But we got up early, right? And credit to Oliver Lucky King Kendrick for putting this thing together, and then kind of hand the keys over and letting us do what we need to do. Again, been a lot of cooperation from athletics, and I think it's one of the better relationships in the country. I'll stand by that till the day that I die. We got a really good relationship with them, and they're willing to help us out however we need to. All
right, Stephen, thank you so much. Last question for you. Who's going to win tonight?
Mountaineers, baby. I'm going to say 72-68.
72-68. Stephen Ford, that's right, Country Roads Trust, General Manager, Chief Operating Officer. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep trucking, brother. And want to say, hey, listen, man, Des Moines, Chop House, baby. Todd Nisley, Big Cat.
Shout out.
Shout out. All right, brother. We'll see you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, gentlemen.
All right, Steve.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks.
All right, take care.
Okay, so that is Stephen Ford, and well, I tell you, he's got so much on his plate. He's had to go through so much. They jumped into it running as fast as they could go, not knowing all the rules. It's like starting a race and you don't know all the rules. You know what I mean? And that's really what it's been like. So let's go ahead. I see that, hey, is Jay West coming on? Is he there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you, though, bro.
I've got a late practice, headed home right now, so I'll be on the computer shortly.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let's get this baby started. We're going to be a little longer because we went longer with Steven, but let's get this off here. Let's go back. Okay, big game here. Big game. We're looking at the stats. Tim, you texted us at halftime and you said, look at these stats. I said, snap it, and you did, man. The stats are 56 points in the first half for the Mountaineers, 55% field goal, 58% three-pointers, 13-14 for free throws, 93%, 18 rebounds, and only 3 turnovers with 7 assists. What a half for the Mountaineers to come out and go. Tim, go ahead and start because you're the one that drew the attention to it.
No, it was obvious from the get-go. I mean, they were playing like a real team. They were moving the ball around. Obviously, Stevenson was on fire. In catering as well. I mean, he stepped up as well. My biggest thing is we need Bell to step up in there too. I mean, obviously with off the bench, I mean, we had some serious support off the bench as well. But yeah,
absolutely,
those two kept us in the first half.
Yep, and let me just say this before we jump into the thing with you, DP and Jarrod, is that in the second for the game, they had 93 points, 47% field goal, 41% three-point, 77% free throws. That's 24-31. But they had 9 blocks. They only had 1 block in the first half, 8 blocks in the second half, and they had 43 total rebounds, 22 second chance points. And with what Tim said off the bench, Wagi, Quanco, you're talking about Harris. I mean, guys that are contributing, and you can see that their minutes are increasing. And I'm going to say, Jarrod West, what does that tell you when you start seeing that some guys' minutes are increasing? You got to be ready when you're a freshman to play because or young. It's your chance. If you only have 2 minutes to shine, you better be ready for 2 minutes.
You're right. You're exactly right. Wagyu and Quango, both of those guys remind me of a young just high energy guys, shot blockers, run the floor, trying to dunk everything about all year. Stevenson, he helped with the pecking order. And when the bench mob came in, with the energy they played with at first half, that was unbelievable. So, and they're going to need it tonight because Iowa State is a high-powering offense. So we need that bench to keep giving us. And then we need Stevenson to continue to shoot the ball like he has been as well.
All right, fantastic. And DP, let's get with you, buddy. And what was your take there when you saw those stats? But it's more than the stats. You saw the action. It was live, and that was living and breathing. What was your take?
It was a lot of energy. They brought a lot of energy, and it helps when you're at home. That's the kind of energy you want. That's how you should play at home all the time. It's hard to play on the road like that, but that's the kind of energy and ball movement. They was locked in, and they made a push into the half that helped out a lot. I mean, Oklahoma was missing a lot. They were having some turnovers, and every time they missed and had a turnover, we scored. And that's what we had to keep doing.
And Darryl, I think you got it right that the ball movement was key in this game.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot better job of moving the ball the last couple of games. I think I wanted to show Dale before the game how they was how Stevenson was moving the ball, and so that kind of got contagious with them.
Well, speaking of Stevenson, let's talk about Hugs here and what he had to say about it.
He was really good. I think we finally have realized what we need to do to win in this league. Our practices were better. Guys were a lot more focused. I think they understand we got some work to do. And Eric was terrific, and I thought he did a great job of leading and helping our other guys.
He got off to a strong start for him or any shooter.
Okay. Jarrod West, I'm going to come back to you. Go ahead. Oh, Tim, I'll let you start. Go ahead.
Hey, Darryl, I don't know if you knew that's Hug's excited voice.
Hey, let me tell you something. At times, I have to go ahead and cut in between spaces just so it's not a 2-minute video. It pauses in between his words. All right, so I'm editing. In between these pauses, and that's no doubt. But let's just be real. Is this Eric Stevenson's team now? Because there's 9 games left. I believe, am I right? But 9 or 8 games, whatever it is, left in this season. He's shown that he could go ahead and take off against 2 really good teams. Let's just say Oklahoma's a good team because they're Big 12 and they're competitive. Obviously, Auburn's good, but he's put up the points. You see what he does. He's rebounding. He's assisting. He's doing the small things. He's being a leader, as Bob Huggins says.
I think he's stepping up, but we'll see. Especially after tonight, we'll see.
After tonight, we'll see. Okay, let's go. Jarrod West, I'm going to give you the same question.
I mean, we've been calling for it all year. Stevenson, Matthews, for those guys to step up. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's going early in the season, 4 or 5 games, and after the little incident in Oklahoma State, he kind of fizzled. He's kind of reestablishing himself as the leader, not only from a scoring standpoint, but a player, getting people involved, and prove that you need playmakers to make plays. Himself as kind of the go-to guy or the first option, then it's easy for fall in line. We have problems when the big guys we need to step up. Don't get for Keedy Johnson or Joe to kind of step up, and that's not the role they need to be. They need to be. Eric has done a great job the last 2 games, and it makes a big deal that we're at home. He's kind of got going, and we're going to tonight make shots. And once you make shots, prove the guys tell you it's contagious. Once your team loses, everybody else confidence elevates, and the ball gets to hopping around. 96 point game. So we need to know like that tonight.
Excellent choice. Now, DP, when you see that, man, and Keedy had 16 points, Toussaint had 9, but then Seth Wilson, he had 8 points. I mean, this really guys are putting up the points.
What position they play? They all guards.
Okay.
That's what we.
I know your point.
That's what we said a few games ago. I think it's become a guards team. You look at the box scores, and Mitchell got 4 points and Matthews got 2.
Right.
It was one of those games, but they didn't play a lot. Then the guards scored. You got Stevenson, he got 34. You got Johnson, he got 16. Wilson got 8. Toussaint got 9. And the big fella off the bench got his 10. Aquanu. Aqua, whatever his name is. And,
Hey, but listen, he only played 14 minutes, right?
Yeah, but he played. You know what I mean? That's the
But
thing.
he played.
He played.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
Double, baby.
Yeah, Darryl, he played his ass off
Yeah.
for 14 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
And you notice Muhammad Wagu's minutes has been going this way now, as his has been going up. You know what I mean? So, it's a guards team, and we see the talent that Matthews and Mitchell have. We just want them to step up, and the guards have been consistently stepping up lately.
Well, yeah, it's really easy to say that when Stevenson's scoring 34. There's no doubt in Keating, so that's what 51 points or 50 points out of it. I hear you. I'm not arguing with it. And then you got Toussaint with 9, so it's 59, and then you got Seth Wilson with 8. So now you're at 67, right? I mean, 67 points, that's a lot for guards. There's no doubt. But at the same time, man, you got to look at these young guys, and you got to let them eat, man. When you watch it right here, and let me see, what did I do with that right there? Okay, so up here, and you look at these minutes right here, and look at the last game, man. Is Mitchell had 20, or Evan Matthews had 20 minutes. Trey Mitchell had 22. And you got a Quanco, when he's doing a double in 14, you got to look at that as a coach and say, we got to go down the stretch here now. And Tim Kearney, what are you saying about that with the big guys? Because even though this may be a guard team right now, you're seeing some young guys and some blocking going on. Like I said, 9 blocks in the last game and 11 steals. That's a team that's thinking at least about defense.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, the guys, the starting lineup, there's a couple guys that should not be in a starting lineup. I mean, first of all, as far as Matthews, I mean, he's kind of lackadaisical. There's no way he can be a leader for this team. No way. I think the guys coming off the bench, with Toussaint and also Wilson coming off, especially tonight, because they're playing against a small lineup, and I think these two guys are going to be key tonight.
Mm-hmm. What about you, DP?
I'm saying it early in the year they should change the lineup a little bit, and I think Hug's trying to be consistent with the guys, who start and not ruffle feathers. But now, I mean, I think you just stay with it and let them guys come off the bench and give you punches off the bench. We keep asking for more from certain people, and might just move on and keep on letting Johnson, Toussaint, and Stevenson carry the team as far as we can go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jarrod West, I know you can't see this because you're right now going, but let's check it out, man. Eric Stevenson, and you're watching him and his playing ability, scoring 34 points. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists. I believe he had 1 steal and 2 turnovers. Right now, his game is he's top of the line, but Hug says he's also now the leader. I mean, you only got 8 or 9 games left here. You got to go with someone. DP, you take it. I don't think Jay.
Yeah, I just think right now he's been.
We're losing him. He's making the transition right now.
Yeah, so he's been in the most consistent scorer now, and like he was that way in the beginning. He just had that lull when he had the tech and stuff like that, a couple of techs in those games. But I think he's always been that emotional leader. He's always fired, always ready to play and playing hard. Sometimes the shots go in, sometimes they don't. Then when it did go in, he was, he get a little, out of hand. But now I think he's coming back. Now he's getting used to it, and he knows the team need him, so he's being more consistent. He got it going right now, and it's nothing like confidence. And he's doing it on a big stage. So all this is going to do is help him more even for tonight.
Tim, what do you see?
Darryl, I agree with you. I mean, the emotion that he plays with, it should be contagious. I mean, with the way he goes up and down the court and gets the other guys pumped up, that's what we need. We need somebody with emotion, I mean,
you sure do, and you're watching the fans in the stands, and I'm telling you, it's exciting basketball. And of course, this is 2 out of 3 games. The other game he only put up 17, right? Okay, that was TCU. So those 3 games, I mean, he's putting the points on. The most impressive thing I've been saying about him in my mind as the last 5 or 6 games has been his hustle as an all-around player. He's giving it out. He's limping. He's bleeding from his knee. He's putting it all on the line. Tim, what's your thought on that? You were honestly, you loved Eric Stevenson in the beginning, and until he had a couple glitches there, but you've pretty much been on his wagon for the whole season.
Yeah, I have, with the few exceptions of his technical fouls and what he's done in the past.
We forgive.
No, well, he's just a very emotional guy, but he's got the heart. No, he's got the heart, and that's what we need. We need somebody with heart, and that's what it means.
Well, a good point. What about you, DP Stevenson? What is he to this team right now as a leader? Does he have to score 34 or 30 or 25 every time for this team to be successful?
Well, we've been asking Mitchell to do it, so somebody has to do it. If he's the one, I'm not opposed to it because he can shoot it. He can fill it up. And once the ball goes in, he sees the ball goes in 1 or 2 times. It's he don't miss many afterwards. So he get a little wild and take a crazy shot, a heat check shot. But I have no problem because he goes to the rim. He has mid range. He'll shoot a 3. He makes 3s. So I don't have a problem with him being that guy. It's just we wanted other people to at least do the same thing. And if they're not going to show that kind of grit, why not Stevenson? It was Keedy Johnson for a couple of games. I'm like, it's going to be those guards because those guards have more grit than anybody else on that team right now.
Well, Keedy played 33 minutes now against Oklahoma, 16 points. I mean, he's still doing. He's a workhorse.
Yeah, and it goes back to Mitchell saying that it could be any one of those guys, but like the way that rim is probably looking to Stevenson right now, I think it's. And I'm gonna say this: since DeMar Johnson, DJ got there, Stevenson is playing at a different level. We haven't thought about that. And he's a wing. DeMar Johnson was a wing in the NBA at 6'9", almost 6'10", and some of the things that Stevenson's doing is what DJ had in his repertoire.
Well, that's interesting. Go ahead, Tim.
I mean, Stevenson's he's 6'4", but he plays like he's 6'8".
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He has some good legs.
He's got a presence on the floor, and that's what we need.
I'm going to say this. I just don't want to forget one thing, and that is Toussaint. I still believe he's a big cog in this whole team. I still believe he comes off the bench. He's perfect in his role. Not perfect. Excuse me for my expression there, but he's very good in this role. I think he provides a lot of energy for this team, but he's not the leader, and he can't be the leader, especially when you don't play all the time and you don't have the most minutes. So I want to say that. Now, Tim.
I think about Toussaint, and every time I watch him play, I call him a bulldog because that's how he plays.
Yeah, no, you're right. But now let me ask you this, because you're obviously we're a big man, and now you got Trey Mitchell, which is 22 minutes, have 4 points, and Emmett had 2 points. What are you doing with these guys? They're 2 seniors. If you're going to make a run in the dance and the NCAAs and the Big 12, you're going to need these guys. You need them. How do you get them back in? Because it's a team effort.
All right, Dale, you told me to try to keep it clean, but the guys.
Whoa!
Well, no, they need to get the head out of their damn asses right now and play like men. Seriously. Sorry, I'm tired. These 2 guys have more talent on that whole team, but they really need to step it up. Sorry,
Dale. Tim just went into his Mikey Corleone and Godfather. Just keep pulling me back in. Just keep pulling me back in.
But it is what it is. The truth is the truth. These guys have more talent on that damn team, and they can make things happen for West Virginia.
I don't think I can argue with that.
And I know you feel the same way too.
No, I just don't say. I thought you were practicing. I'll take that anytime. That's your clean. If that's your clean version, I'm good with it.
Okay. Good.
All right. Good enough, right? Okay, so that leads me to this then, because I love this. I love young guys. I love young dogs that want to eat, man. And we got some young dogs here that these guys are just growing by leaps and bounds and leaps. Watch this. DP, go ahead and take it, man.
You know, this Cottonoo, yeah. I mean, he just playing. Look at me. Well, that's Wagyu.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah.
There he is.
They bringing different energy. Remember, I told you at one point we need 10 to 15 points from them three, and or 10 to 15 rebounds. So we getting that from Wagyu and Okano without getting it all from Bell. I'm good with that. That's what we need. We need some energy. We need somebody that's going to go get the shots. Bell is limited. He's not the same kind of guy to block shots like Okano or finish at the rim like that. Which is okay. He brings a different kind of presence. He brings a physical presence. Then you bring in two athletic guys. It was just too much for Oklahoma to deal with. You had three different guys down there that's working, and it's kind of hard to deal with. Then you have Johnson's playing well. You got Stevenson shooting the lights out. So if they were wings, would be a different game. But it's those three guys. So and they playing for those minutes. So they want to stay on the floor. So O'Connell figured out if he just play hard, catch the ball, get the rim, block some shots, he's going to get in the game, and he's making a difference.
Again, Jarrod West, let me go to you with this, because when I'm watching this, I'm watching the big boys get fed by Stevenson here. Again, he's been growing with that passing attack, and he seems to be enjoying it, as you saw when big boy went up there on the alley-oop. I mean, he's seeing it, man, and a great time to see it.
No, I totally agree. You asked me the question earlier before I got cut off. I think everybody was listening to you too, Wolf, because 5 or 6 games ago you was begging for more bench minutes, and you was crying for it. And since they've been paying off. So they may have been listening to you. But to answer your question, like I said earlier, Wagyu and Okwangu both remind me of a young Marcus Goree. We never ran a play for him, but he always ended up with 6 to 8 points, 6 to 7 rebounds, 2 or 3 block shots, because he's a high energy guy. And these guys are coming in. They're rim running. They're running right to the front of the rim. They're setting good screens. They're lob threats. And they're playing desperate because they want to play. You had those, 20, 25 minutes between those guys with Bell, and like DP saying, you're seeing a lot of productivity just off playing hard, which is a skill. Playing hard, being in the right place, and that's invaluable. I mean, the 9 block shots coming off the bench. And then the double-figure points, double-figure rebounds, and not one play is being run for you. That's quality minutes. And Eric Stevens is doing a very good job of finding those guys, as is Keedy and Toussaint as well.
Go ahead, Tim.
No, I agree with Jarrod. I mean, between these guys coming off the bench, Wagyu and Anacano, whatever. I mean, he may find himself on the bench, because these two young kids right now are really making a big impact on what we have. I mean, they're quicker. I mean, yeah, Bell's a bigger guy. We can use him in different places, but right now these guys coming off the bench, I mean, they're really making a big impact for West Virginia.
All right, I'm going to make a suggestion, and that suggestion is that we're going to call James. We're just going to call him Big O. O or Big O, whatever you want to call it, okay? We're going to say it because we're all butchering that last name like crazily. So until we can figure it out, we're just going to call him O. And I might want to do W for Muhammad. All right, so anyways, getting to this, let's move on here now towards the Iowa State Cyclones. And Cyclones is what they are. They're 16-6. I believe they're 5-3. They're at home. They're undefeated, honestly. 12-0 and 5-0 in the Big 12. This team, although it's crazy because you're like, how's this team so good? And the fact is that they have transfers galore. They have less than 25 points of production from last year returning this season. This is we got 2 guys. Jaron Holmes, number 13. He's a St. Bonaventure transfer. You got Osani. Okay, he's from St. Bonaventure as well. They went to the Final Four in the NIT last year for St. Bonaventure. But these guys are transfers in, and they're putting together. And not only are they scoring points and winning, they crushed Kansas. because they're really good at defense, but they also can score and work as a unit. And I'm going to go Darryl Prue. Go ahead. Look at the guys you got. Caleb Grill. They're averaging right here 11 points. Taman Lipsy. He's the only freshman. They're all 4 seniors and starters. You got Jaron Holmes, number 13. He's a senior guard. It's 4 guards to 1 big man. Okay, the 1 big man has over 300 career blocks. Okay, you guys, I gave you the stats. You guys break them down. Go ahead, DP.
Yeah, so we'll start off with Grill. He's a solid guard. He was there, last year, so it's his second year there. He's not a 1-year guy, and he was good where he was at UNLV. Then you got the freshmen coming in, so you always want some youth, especially in the skill position. Holmes is another guy. He was at St. Bonaventure. They had a very successful run in the NCAA playoffs the last couple of years, and and then you got another transfer, Gabe from Minnesota. He started 134 out of 145 games in his career, including 46 at Iowa State. So he's been there. So he's not just 1-year guys. Then you got the big fella who was really good at Oklahoma. He was really good at St. Bonaventure, and he's been playing pretty good here at Ohio State. They throw the ball into him, and if you watch them play, they're all good players. They play hard, they play together, and they throw the ball in, they throw the ball out. It's like Iowa State has been like a rebel school lately, getting a lot of transfers, and it's been working out for them. They get the right ones. So the way they use the portal now has benefited them well.
So are you talking like a good talent equation that they're doing a good job evaluating team chemistry and all that? Getting into it is what you're saying.
They're getting the right guys, and then they're getting guys that's on 1-year deals. Like some of these guys has been doing this for a couple of years, and they got the guy, the big fella from St. Bonaventure. He probably wanted to not play in the big Atlantic 10 and play in a little bigger conference, and he's buying in because he wants to win. So it's these guys, they share the ball. There's 4 of them averaging over double figures, and the only one that's not is the freshman. And they got somebody come off the bench that's close to averaging double figures. So, they do a good job of spreading the ball around. They help each other out. They got good active hands. They all play hard, and that's what we've been saying. Playing hard. They look for each other. It's just let's like the small things. We're starting to do a little bit now. You know what I mean? Instead at the beginning, we've been begging for the team to jail. And we wait for somebody to make plays also. And now, the guards are making plays. So
let me just point out there that's Lampkin, the freshman you're talking about. Yep. He had 10 assists against Kansas 10. This guy is doing a big assist. It's interesting too. He's from Ames High School. He's right there out of Ames.
Yeah.
Lampkin. Yeah. Go ahead. Continue, man.
Yeah, because even with Stevenson playing better now, like we watched the last couple of games and how he's moving the ball around, that makes a big difference, especially with some of the bigs. They'll play harder for you if they just get a touch. They don't have to score all the time. They just get a touch. Just not always helping and getting beat and get screamed at. They run to the rim. They just want to get a touch. You drive it. His man come over, throw it up, you get a touch. They run through the wall for you, and that's what. We call him Big O and Muhammad is doing right now. So
Darryl, we talked about this a couple episodes ago about you post your ass up there. If the guards aren't giving you a touch, you get pissed off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because they're not giving it to them in the post to score.
No.
They have to find other ways to score. So
why punch your ass as far as posting up if the guards aren't going to give you a touch?
Yeah, but you got to still do it. So, but yeah.
So it is what it is. I mean, true.
Yeah, but the kid always figured it out. You know what I mean?
Guard, you got to give the big man a chance to touch.
I agree.
The ball.
Yeah. All right. Let me get Jarrod in here on this because we're talking about guards. All right. So, James, what do you see as 4 guards? How do you work that out? When you're smaller, you're average 6'4". You do have one big 6'10" guy, and Asani, but then you also got Trey King, who's a big guy out there as a forward as well. But still, you're 4 guards.
Right. Well, they do a very good job of running a 4 out 1 in. And Holmes he's a 5th-year senior, and he's a bigger guard, so he can kind of guard the power forward or the stretch forward, so he can guard bigger than his size. So he creates a matchup problem because if you try to put a 6'8", 6'9" guy on him, he can kind of take you on the perimeter, dribble, drive you, and he can shoot the 3 as well. But their shooters, Grill, they can shoot the ball. They're a very skilled bunch. Usani is a great rim run. He sets a good screen and he rolls hard to the rim. And then they have 2 or 3 guys that come off the bench. Alec, the foreign guy, he can stretch you and shoot the 3 as well. Then they have another big. So they have a very, very good roster, 8 to 9 good players. But their guard, they can shoot the basketball. Any guard they put on the floor, excluding the freshman. The freshman's he's not really known for shooting, but the other 3 perimeter guys around Usoni, they can shoot the 3. Grill, Gage.
Well, they're 35% higher, right, behind the arc.
Yes, so they all can shoot it, and I think they use their sizes. They don't mind having Holmes as a 6'4" guard because, like I said, he's a stout 6'4". He can guard guys 6'6", 6'7", and they're banking on you having problems matching up with him on the perimeter. So
all right,
they are a very, very good team.
Yeah, with that, it's nobody 6'7", 6'8" posting up. Hopefully Mitchell could get in there and do his thing, because guys now 6'7" not posting up, or 6'8" not posting up. They're trying to drive it, and that works to his advantage because he's a smaller guy.
Exactly right.
All right, so let me break it real quick because we got rolling here. I forgot sponsor time, and that is Parmar Stores, right, baby? 5 different states, and there's not a Parmar store near you now. There will be one soon. By the time the show ends, we'll have 2 more up there. Wilson Martino Dental, they are big supporters of WVU, and yes, we know that what to do is Penn State, but we love them because they're all WVU. Bobby Martino, we love you, brother.
Let's go, Bobby.
Love you. Yeah, let's go, Bobby, and David too.
Pepperoni rolls, for God's sakes.
All right, we're gonna get those pepperoni rolls, and of course, we got the man killer, the stud, Dan Cava, Toyota World, man. Shop the world. Your Toyota dealer in Fairmont, West Virginia. If you don't love Danny Cava, you're not right. All right, and then of course we want to thank Stephen Ford, who came on tonight to the show. Country Roads Trust, West Virginia's name, image, and likeness team. Man, we love you, Steve. We love what you're doing for WVU and all the gang. They're changing the game for WVU student athletes. Okay, now that I got that out there, let's go ahead and take a look at it. We were talking about Asani. Let's watch him and his action here because he actually had 13 points against Kansas, obviously in the paint. But, Tim, go ahead. Tell me what you think about Big Man.
He's a hell of a lot quicker than Bell is. So I think, the guys coming off the bench might be a better matchup with him. And the one who scares me is this Trey King. I mean, I've seen some video on him, and, he could be a huge impact on this game tonight.
We got video coming up right now next of Trey King in there as well. But I did want to look at it because, he's got 300-plus blocks. That's pretty big to do that. And, DP, let me ask you this. You've been to St. Bonaventure, man. All of you guys have been to St. Bonaventure, and they got 2 players out of St. Bonnie. I mean, how are you making that pull? Now, I know they went to the Final Four of the NIT, but how do you pull that out of 2 guys and 2 very successful guys, and you're getting them out of St. Bonaventure? Those poor kids, but now that they go to Ames, Iowa, all they think is there's only snow. I mean, you go to St. Bonaventure or Ames, Iowa, it's only snow, man. That's what it is with those guys.
Yeah, I mean, like it keeps you ultra focused too, because you can't go nowhere. You know what I mean? Ain't that much party, so. St. Bonaventure did a good job of developing in those guys. You know what I mean? That's the sad part of this portal. So he has 2 moves. That's all you need in the post is 2 moves. Either go left or go right. If you got to figure out which way I'm gonna go. And he does a good job of setting screens, running to the rim. He also do a good job of catching it. He gets double, throwing it back out. Look at the spacing. When he catches the ball. There's 4 guys out. And right here he got patience. He has patience. So he has a good field. And you got to watch some guys cutting in because everybody's just standing around. And he seals in the post. Other big seals in the post. This team is good. You just gotta figure things out. We got to be on point. Offensively and defensively.
I mean, Jarrod, they're attacking the paint quite a bit, and they outscored Kansas 36-16 in the paint.
Yes, well, their home court advantage is a lot like ours. They have a very, very good home court advantage. So when you go to their place, you got your hands full with the energy in there, and then those guys shoot lights out there. King is very good too. He's a high motor guy, high energy guy, like a younger Anderson Varejao out there with their hair. But the big boy from St. Bonaventure, those guys are hungry because those guys actually, when they were all at St. Bonaventure, all those guys transferred out, but they made a run in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago. So I mean, they're good players. W has a handful tonight. Holmes is like a power point forward at 6'4". Their spacing is good. Their shooters are good. Their bench is good. You didn't show Alec, the foreign kid. He can shoot it. He's a stretch 4 around 6'6", 6'7". Very, very tonight. I know we've been begging Mitchell to kind of. He could be a matchup advantage for us if he comes and kind of dominates the paint. Bell, if he's physical, we need someone to kind of establish some type of paint presence tonight, because if we play a 4-guard offense, I think that's to their advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see. But these guys are good. They're well coached, and they're hungry.
Okay, Jerry, so let me ask you this. If they're playing 4 guards, which we know they're going to, does that mean, because we've been playing more guard action lately, do we have to respond with that?
Well, the game comes down to an execution game. If our bigs are dominant, if Mitchell is doing what he's supposed to on the block, he could get Holmes and he can get him in foul trouble on the block, and then they might have to match up with us. If we're trying to play 4 out and shooting threes or playing a softer game, then it'll benefit them, because we don't want Mitchell to be on the perimeter trying to guard Holmes. Then we'll get in foul trouble. So comes down to who's executing. They're going to play 4 guards to start the game. So if we don't make them pay for that, if we allow them to be comfortable and run their stuff, then I think it'll be to their advantage. So,
okay.
Execution.
All right. Well, then let's talk about this. I'm going to focus this at you, Tim. I'll start off. They're attempting 23 points a game. They're making 7, 35%. A couple guys, one guy's 39%, one guy's 37%. They're not killing it for attempts, but they're making a lot of them on a consistent basis.
Well, first of all, I agree with Jarrod as far as mixing it up on the defensive side and what we have to do to push them out. The biggest thing that I've seen from the video that I've watched, that they definitely they shoot from the outside, but they also penetrate and kick it out big time to the 3-point shooters. So I think from a defensive side, we've got to be more reactive on the defensive side as far as the kick out, because they've done a lot of that from the video that I've seen.
Mm-hmm. DP?
Well, they do a good job. Like when I was at Georgetown, so we were known for cutting. They do a good job of curling. They curl and cut. So
explain what that means.
So let me see. I was going to see, one of the videos showed it. So they always curling. See the guy curling to the basket and frees up the other guy. So now it causes confusion, and it opens up other people. Now the people are scrambling. So sometimes they do this for shots. Even on the scouting report, some of these guys shoot off the curl. Here go another little curl. You're standing there, and all of a sudden you take off running. So the guys got to be attentive of these guys. Look, so he got here, fall asleep, you got to help. Now they got some confusion. But they do a good job of moving the ball from side to side. They got these little curl actions right here coming off screens. So you got to chase these guys. It's a lot different. At Georgetown, we would cut back door and get layups. And these guys are coming off curls, hitting jump shots or freeing up things. So when teams like to switch, we used to do, when we played, when teams switch, we curl, because that causes confusion. Because what happens is it's hard to switch on a curl. And because the miscommunication comes up. So I think they do a good job of creating a lot of miscommunications on defense. Because they confuse the hell out of Kansas. Kansas ain't know what to do with this on defense. And because of the curling, the backdoor cut, the spacing, I just think they couldn't settle in on defense and stop them.
Okay.
Hey, Darryl, I understand what you're saying about the curl, and that they did a lot of kick out, but they also looked at a lot of the backdoor stuff too, which they're known for.
They're like Jerry said earlier, they're very good basketball players. So very good basketball players. Cut, curl, they do all the things basketball players do besides just dribbling and trying to beat your man one-on-one. So off the ball, they're doing a lot of different things. You can't fall asleep. You can't ball watch. If you ball watch, your man to cut back door. So they're a very good team. They're a very good passing team. You know, we talked about Kansas.
Absolutely. Well, I agree.
We talked about Kansas State and somebody else been a good passing team. This might be the best passing team in the whole league.
No, I agree.
So they do all these curls, and they got these guys curling to the basket, and they got to do a good job of passing the ball and finishing it around the rim. Or like you said, getting it in there, and they, everybody submerge in, and they throw it back out to the shooters.
Okay, now we got the offense. What about the defense? What are they playing? What do you see here? Obviously, they held Kansas to below 60 points, below 55. They're 12th in the country in points allowed. Huggs said in transition, they get back, so you can't really run the transition. You have to run your offensive sets. At least that's what he said. What do you guys see here when you look at this?
I think they do a good job of. They don't really run nobody to the offensive boards. They might run one guy, might sneak in there, so they get back, and they stay in front. And they stay in front. They make you shoot over top of them. If you have a good post player, they'll double the post and make you do something that you're not used to doing. They'll play the game of you're not going to outshoot us. So they'll run people at you, and they'll make it difficult. They'll take away your strength, and hopefully the guy who they the weakest guy don't score a lot of points. So that's how I think they play their game.
Yeah, Jarrod, let me ask you this, and I kind of hinted towards this with the four guards and one forward. But what are the advantages besides athleticism of four guards? Why do you play four guards to one forward?
Spacing, shooting. Hopefully the opposing team is playing with two bigs or maybe one big and a guy who's 6'8" or 6'9", who's not used to guarding a perimeter guy. And like I said before, Holmes is 6'4". He's short in stature, but he can guard bigger guys. And now they're banking on him being more skilled than your big. It puts a lot of pressure on you from a standpoint of, if I got four guards and one big, there's going to be space. You got to help. And if you shoot the ball pretty good that night, you got your hands full. Now, how do you combat that? On the other end, you have to make them pay for being smaller. And that's what it's going to come down to tonight. If Mitchell, if Bell, if those guys, or Matthews go to the offensive rebound, or if we can dominate the paint, then it works against them using their size. If we, like Prue said, if we allow them to, if we don't break down their defense, either by penetration or passing in the paint, and we shoot over the top of them, that's going to be to their advantage. So we have to definitely get inside the paint. Hopefully they double team, make them scramble, hit a few shots, but pound the offensive glass, like you see some of these clips here. Big boy Sudi is a great shot blocker, but he's kind of frail, so we can get to his body, get him in foul trouble. I think we have an advantage in the paint.
We say put Big Jimmy Bell on him?
Yeah, Big Jimmy Bell can get him in foul trouble, and he's physical and drawing two people. And then, like I said, if we pound the offensive glass, that's how you combat if a team tries to play small. If we come out and try to dribble, drive, and shoot a lot of threes and shoot over the top, then we're playing right into their hands by allowing them to play small ball.
Okay. Hey, Tim, what's your take on this defense? I'll give it to you, D. Hang on. Tim, what's your take real quick?
No, I agree with Jarrod with what he said, but if Bell gets into foul trouble, then we got to rely on Wagyu and Okahana or whatever.
Big O, baby, Big O.
Okay, Big O. But yeah, I mean, those two could be a huge factor in this whole game, and then on top of that, with Desant and Wilson, bringing more guards into the game to match up with them. But
okay.
Like I said, it's an unknown, as far as Matthews and as far as what he's going to step up to. Hopefully, he has a good game. I think Eric's been playing well, and hopefully he's playing the same way tonight that he did the last game.
All right, TP. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out, but go ahead, brother.
No, I was going back to what Jarrod said about the small ball. You go back to the Warriors. So everybody in the NBA trying to play like the Warriors, and it doesn't work out for them. You got to be who you are. Then all of a sudden now teams are getting bigs to combat the Warriors. And I think when the Warriors played the Spurs before Kawhi Leonard got hurt, they were whooping them. They were up like 2-0, 3-0. Then when Kawhi went down, and they try to match what they do, you can't do what Iowa State does. That's their strength. And I think, at one time our strength was throwing it down low. Going guard for guard, shot for shot. It might work for a little while, but then what happens when we get cold? That's when the Mitchells of the world and the Bells of the world, we need something from them because they got a guy they throw it to when their shots don't go well. So I think, our identity is still, if we're going to be the guard team, then we got to hope our guards are better than their guards.
Okay. So, Jarrod West, tell me what is the first thing I want to see tonight when I'm watching this game? Are we attacking from the shooting? Are we trying to get the points in the paint? What's the first thing you think that Bob Huggins wants to attack, or is he just going to wait to see what opens up?
Well, if I know Hug, I got no Hug. He's probably going to try to take advantage of our size. Hopefully Mitchell comes and has a good game and kind of draws a double team because they're going to have to put Holmes on him, I'm going to imagine. And if Mitchell can take advantage of that matchup, that'll be very advantageous to us. Emmett as well. Emmett is 6'7", Mitchell is 6'8", 6'9", so they should be 3 to 4 inches bigger than their respective matchups. Now, if those guys don't step up, then we're going to go on the bench. We might get a little smaller and match up small ball for small ball. So it's going to come down to basically how Mitchell matches play in the beginning, and if Bell is dominant inside the paint. If they don't, we might have to match up small ball, and if we do, we'll see if we can make enough perimeter shots to match up with them.
Tim Kearney, let me ask you this. Is this what Evan Matthews is for? Isn't this that he can go either way, meaning a guard or a forward that he can play against? Isn't this he's at that midpoint where he can, and athletic enough that could take on the guards as well as the better big guys?
He should be. And I agree with Jarrod. I think we need to work on the start of the game, pounding it inside, between Matthews as well as Bell, and see what happens. But Matthews has the ability to play as a guard and a forward. But at the same time, we need to start pounding it inside and see what happens and try to open it up for the outside people.
Okay. DP, how are you attacking this defense if you're Bob Huggins?
I'm definitely throwing it down low first. Let the inside game open up the outside game, because just like everybody else, they watch film. So what they're going to do? They're going to play Stevenson different. They're going to play Johnson different. They're going to make somebody else beat them. So the last few games, Matthews and Mitchell and Bill hasn't really been doing anything. You make them guys beat us. They're going to make those guys beat us. So they're going to throw it to them. They score. They're going to double. Make it hard for them. Not giving free shots to Stevenson's, not giving free shot to Johnson. So, you got to establish something. Like hopefully the home match is still there from the other day tonight. But like at the end of the day, we got we have an advantage and use our size advantage. They'll use their advantages, the curls, and they'll throw it down low. So I think we got to do take advantage of our advantage. We can't say because we made all these shots the last game that's going to happen this game. We got to play basketball, and basketball is throwing it down low. We got a 5-6 inch height advantage. Just give it to them, make them work.
Between Darryl, Jarrod, myself, we all have the same opinion. Pound it inside. Open up the outside.
All right, Ted. Now, what's the overall keys to success for tonight to walk out of there with the big OV victory?
Well, I pretty much just stated it. Start pounding it inside, open up the outside. That's what we have to do.
Defensively, what do you got to do? You got to stop them. Do you stop their outside shooting? Do you stop their paint? What's your thing? That's your plan of action to attack?
Well, defensively, obviously they do a lot of penetration and kick it out to hit the three-pointer. So, defensively wise, we just got to be all over that. Like I said, I've watched a lot of video on them, but they will penetrate. They will penetrate at any given time with their guards. We got to cut them off, and for the kick out, we got to be on them when they kick it out.
And Jay West, how do they go ahead, they penetrate, and then they drive you in, and everybody's defending that paint, and then they kick it out? That's got to be frustrating. And how do you defend that?
Oh, that's tough. They run good offense. They run a lot of screener actions, which means big involvement screens. So he's trying to get one guy to help for a half a second while that other guy curls off like Prue is talking about to kind of escape away from the defender. That's hard. It requires 5 people to be on the screen, talking, communicating. But I think the strength for us tonight, we're going to have to obviously run those guys off the three-point line while also containing penetration and make them score over length the basket, which is hard to do. It's not easy at all because they have three good guys on the floor at all times to kind of create. And then they have two bigs who can rim run, catch live. So they're a handful on offense. We have to be 5 people attached to the string and communicate. But we can't let Grill and Gabe make 4 or 5 threes apiece. When they make the three-point shot, they are very
definitely nail it from the three-point range.
What's that?
They can definitely nail it from the three-point range, from what I've watched.
All right, so Darryl Prue, I'm going to give you the last word for tonight. Keys to victory for you to come out.
So they got defensively, got to stay in front of that man. Offensively, we got to take care of the ball like we've been doing lately. Pound it down low. Stay patient on offense. Don't rush like we did in the past. I think we've been being more calm on offense. Defensively, make sure we communicate the pick and rolls. The pick and roll is going to be a lot of trouble, and there's going to be a lot of confusion. We can't get flustered when there's a play that breaks down, and we just have to keep figuring it out. And I just think energy. Energy. So I think all that, what Jarrod said and what Tim said, combining this communication on defense, not standing around on defense, not being complacent and think your man's got out of the play, then all of a sudden he takes off running and gets in the play. I just think, you got to be attentive. When you're on the floor, you got to be attentive the whole time you're on the floor. Can't relax. And them guys just come off the bench, got to keep bringing that energy.
Yep.
So, on what Darryl just said, as far as energy, I mean, the last game against Oklahoma, we had the energy, and they need to keep it up tonight. That was the key to the game against Oklahoma. I don't know if Darryl, if you agree with that, but the energy we had.
Yeah. So the difference was going to be, like Oklahoma kind of gave up after halftime, right before halftime. That big run we had. Ohio State's not going to give up. They're going to keep playing. They're going to keep playing. They're going to keep playing. They'll miss a lot of shots, but then all of a sudden they're going to make a lot of shots. So they're never out of the game. So they're going to keep coming. I don't know. Their bench is pretty good too. They got more size coming off the bench than they do have the starters. So it's not like they're a small team. And they got some good guys coming off the bench. A lot of them average 5-6 points a game. That's not a bad bench to have. When you got 4 guys on the starters that's averaging over 10. So it's going to be a grinded out game, and we can't not get discouraged when things don't go our way and just keep grinding. I think we've been doing a better job at that for the last few games.
That's for you, Tim. All right. Well, listen, I say this, man. They give a lot of fouls. Okay, so our free throw shooting, we get them in foul trouble. It should be. The free throw shooting is going to be key tonight. And guys, I want to thank you so much. You're all professionals. You're all great. You're all legends. I learned so much every single time I get you on there, and I learned so much. And Tim Kearney. Tim Kearney.
Hold on. I try to keep it clean, all right?
I call you the cantankerous one, and that's all with a whole bunch of appreciation for what you bring to the show. Darryl Prue, Jay West, Jarrod West, man, thank you guys. Let's get a win tonight. Let's go Mountaineers. Beat the Cyclones.
Let's go Mountaineers.
Go.
Destined for greatness. My name is written in stars, and I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed, it's how it was made, this ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer a call, the enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down, and I won't give up, and I will act now, and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on
matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par Mar Stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par Mar app and sign up for the Par Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par Mar Stores, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.